विशेष जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण. We will continue our discussion. So we were discussing yesterday when King Rahugana he understood that Jad Bharat was not an ordinary person. So immediately he offers obeisances and apologizes. That time he makes this shloka, Naham Vishanke Suraraja Varyan Na Trayaksha Shulanna Yamapasha Yamasya Danda Nagnir Arka Somanila Vittapa Chir Chakre Brisham Brahma Chanke Brisham Brahma Kulavanat. So he says, my dear sir, I am not at all afraid of the thunderbolt of King Indra, nor am I afraid of the superintendent serpentine piercing trident of Lord Shiva. I do not care about the punishment of Yamaraj, the superintendent of death, nor am I afraid of fire, scorching sun, moon, wind, nor the weapons of Kuvera. Yet I am afraid of offending a Brahmana. I am very much afraid of this. So here we're discussing about the offenses. So in that we discussed how God is a person, that is the foundation, and so the most important thing is why personhood matters. So we are created in God's image and likeness, and externally form and internally personality. So a personal God has likes and dislikes. Any an impersonal Brahman does not, and it's therefore much easier to live with. But living with a person means having to adopt change and avoid what uh, displeases them. So this is the difficult thing. So the most difficult thing is dealing with persons. So we all have this experience, and so relationship means that if I want to have a deep and satisfying relationship with one, I have to know very well what that person likes and does not like. And if I want this relationship not to be destroyed, so that the erosion of offenses does not undermine the relationship. So I must very carefully avoid what he does not like, because every time I will invest in the piggy bank, that will cause mistrust, broken relationships, and so these all things should not happen. So we have to be very careful that it is not causing any distrust. So this is the biggest challenge. So for that we have to adopt. So we have to adopt to God, to the. So the most important thing we have discussed is the relationship means just that if I want to have a deep, broken relationship means mistrust. So when there is relationship, people trust each other. People are often open to each other, but when the relationship broke down, the mistrust settles in the heart. We all have this experience. The heart slams shut, and exactly the same dynamics exist between the living entity and Lord also. Krishna is a person and we are a person. And in any union, any relationship, someone must determine uh, whose consciousness should dominate. So here in the case of Krishna, his we have to go according to his demands. So, like if the husband and wife are completely on the same level in their own minds, if the wife believes that the husband should adopt to me and the husband believes that the wife should adopt to me, then this automatically means that their marriage will very quickly be fall apart. Each will expect the other to adopt, and ultimately the relationship will lead to disappointment and pain only, right? Therefore, Vedic scriptures say it was very clearly defined who is superior and who is inferior. The one below, he understood that, okay, my task is to adopt. And if we transfer this to the sphere of our relationship with Krishna also, then it is obvious who is higher and who is lower. It is uh, very obvious, but people want Krishna to adopt our means. But people who still have some little intelligence, they understand that, okay, I have to adopt. So, first thing is, uh, Rupa Goswami is telling, Anukulyasya Sankalpo. So, we have to do according to the Anukul of Krishna, what Krishna wants. If a person is doing something that pleases Krishna, that is Anukul. And it is very ideal to which we should strive. So any offenses to a Vaishnava, it is not Anukul. Krishna don't like somebody saying anything to Vaishnavas. So the purpose of all scriptures is to teach the man to act in such a way that his behavior will satisfy Krishna. And all the assuring consequences are clearly to any reasonable person. So now to understand what God likes and what God does not like, to act accordingly, and in this way to achieve the inner happiness fulfillment. Now we have discussed what is the problem. So first thing we discussed about consciousness. So when Prabhupada started international, uh, so this is two things here. So our present consciousness is bringing us birth, death, old age and disease. We are in samsara. And we are trying to solve the problems with the same consciousness which we are in. We have to use a higher level of consciousness to solve the problem. So that is the first thing. And if consciousness is, people are easily thrown off by smallest events and constantly seek someone to blame for their misfortune, right? That is the state of consciousness. Now, Prabhupada said International Society for Krishna Consciousness. So we have discussed this also. So uh, the it is not the very name of our movement contains the purpose or meaning of what we want. We want to change our consciousness to Krishna consciousness. We have our own consciousness and we know what our consciousness has led to. The presently what we are is our consciousness. Birth, death, old age, and disease only. So the result of our consciousness is in which we are now is suffering. This is endless rebirth in the ocean of samsara. So we cannot find a person who is completely all the time happy. So that is not possible. So we have discussed that how we are blaming situations and all. Now here, to be Krishna conscious is not just to be conscious of his desires also and his likings also. So which is the most important thing. Meaning, Krishna mercifully sends to us in the human life to help us develop, to prove uh, it so that a reasonable person can understand. I need to move to another level of consciousness. So if a person is not following rules and regulations, his consciousness don't develop. We have discussed this also, the consciousness in the previous chapter, by how to develop the consciousness, right? So now the next thing is like some people are confused about the definition we So Krishna consciousness means this is not an international society, international society, but it's a uh, we should have the same consciousness of Krishna. That is Krishna consciousness. To know about Krishna is conscious, but to have the same consciousness of Krishna. The point is not to realize that Krishna exists. Many other religions also teach this. There is God, God is great. What can you get from Him? The point is precisely to acquire the same consciousness that Krishna has. You are seeing the difference? And the end point is like please don't burn me at the stake after what I saw. So, uh, so people say that no, you don't believe, then you will be burned to hell and all these things. So the this is to have same consciousness of Krishna is not like Mayavadis. So that we have discussed. And then we discussed about how Srimati Radharani is the uh, embodiment of that love. So Radharani belong to you and you belong to me, and do not yet understand love, because in truth love there is no you and me, there is only unity. So this is what is Krishna consciousness. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had this. So Tattvamasi means Jiva Goswami explains that this describes the perfect love where the living where the line between lover and beloved is erased. So this is the very important understanding. And then we discussed about the spiritual world. It is existing every time here, what we are. Why we are discussing all these things, how it is connected to offenses? Because this is what Krishna wants. If we do anything against what he wants, we want to be conscious of what Krishna is conscious. So he is conscious of his devotee. So we should also be. If you do anything against, he will not like it. So that is very simple. You do whatever he likes, finish. Good relationships. So spiritual world is not a geographical destination. It's a state of consciousness. And Bhagavatam, holy name, it's all Krishna. And this path begins with faith. I will not take elaborately, I will just do brief only. So, journey of Krishna consciousness begins with Shraddha. And then we have Shraddha on the spiritual master. He gives Shraddha on the scriptures. Then we practice pure bhakti. And then we come to Krishna consciousness. So, for developing bhakti, for practicing bhakti, we don't need Shraddha. But for pure devotional service, we need Shraddha. That we have discussed. And what a spiritual master does, he uh, he is connect. Guru is helping us. He says, "Let my consciousness merge with the words from the lotus lips of spiritual master." This means, let my faith in scriptures becomes absolute. So, worshipping a guru without this scriptural connection is a form of idolatry. So, and then faith and fanatism. This is all to help us not to why this topic of faith came. If you remember, we have discussed that we are not fanatically saying, oh, you offended a Vaishnava, you'll go to hell. No, it's a very scientific process. Why offending a Vaishnava is displeasing Krishna. That's why we are discussing all these things. So when people say, "Oh, this is gone, now you are gone, you offended Vaishnava," it is not like, "Oh, you don't believe in this Lord, you will be damned to hell." So it's not like a fanatical statement. Please try to understand. That's why we are going through all this discussion to make the concept very clear. Faith is not blind dogmatry. So that is the distinction. Bhakti acts independent of faith. That is the reason we have discussing this. So even if you don't believe also, bhakti will act. That means no need of blind faith only. That means bhakti is something which is beyond faith also. But for pure bhakti, we need to have faith. Otherwise, bhakti is like fire. You have done something to Krishna, you will get benefited. That is the point. So the faith acts like a magnifying glass. It concentrates consciousness on one goal. So preventing the mind from wandering. So this is the main point to be understood. What exactly is bhakti? People, there will be confusion otherwise that oh, this is uh, like any other dogmatic or fanatical personalities. No. See, uh, faith is not, this is always to be remembered. Bhakti acts independent of faith. It burns whether you believe or not. You have pleased Krishna, you get benefited. Even you don't have faith. You're understanding? Even demons, when they pleased Krishna, they got benefited. They were not even attracted to Krishna. They were hating Krishna. And but Krishna took it, in a different way. He said, "Oh, good." Like Putana came. She wanted to kill Krishna, but what Krishna did? Oh, you gave me milk, I am pleased. And he got benefited like that. So anybody pleases Krishna, any act that pleasing Krishna, they'll get benefited. They may not get highest benefit, but some benefit is there. So Ajamila chanted, he got benefited. So Putana, Putana did bhakti, but she did not have any faith, but she did bhakti. Ajamila did bhakti. He didn't have faith. He just chanted something else and he got benefited. So that means without faith also bhakti works. That is the point. And faith acts like a magnifying glass. It concentrates conscious. So now, what is the benefit of this? This is the most important. Faith acts like a magnifying glass. Concentrates consciousness on one goal, preventing the mind from wandering. So that is the reason we get benefited. If you focus on Krishna, our consciousness is elevated, we are benefited. So without faith, a person will always look around. Maybe I should try Hatha Yoga, maybe Christianity, maybe different guru. Faith prevents this constant distraction. So that's why we need faith so that we don't get distracted. Otherwise, say I am doing bhakti, uh, and now I don't have much faith. So then what will happen? I get distracted. Bhakti without faith, distraction. Bhakti with faith, concentration. So when these people they are doing, so why we need faith? So that we can more and more do it, more concentrate on it. Otherwise we feel okay, I did something and it is not working. Maybe let me try something. So that means he's lacking what? He's lacking faith. But bhakti he had done also. He got benefited. Say he is working and pleasing Krishna sometime, and then he's getting. Then he saw okay, he got benefited because he pleased Krishna, but he got distracted. Then he will go away. That's what happens to Mishra Bhaktis. They try with Krishna for some time, and then they go to some other demigod. They go here, they go there. They try everything. They are mixing up everything because they don't have faith. That is the main point. But otherwise, bhakti in itself is independent of faith. Anybody, anytime you please Krishna, they get benefited like that. Now, what is the main obstacle? The ego as the enemy of faith. So that was our point of discussion. So because this topic we are discussing, if you have questions on this, we will take it. Uh, Yes, Deepa Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. Prabhuji, you mentioned that
Dandavat Pranam.
uh, what is that? Um, it's not a geographical location. Like uh, you mentioned this, no? What is that?
Vrindavan.
So it's a state of
Yeah, Vrindavan is
uh,
not. Yeah,
yeah, is a geographical location. It's a state of consciousness.
consciousness.
Now this is raising many doubts in my mind because until now we are thinking that at the end of life, when you leave your body, then matlab, of course that is not our goal, but ultimately if somebody is in bhakti and has achieved that pure consciousness, all contaminations are cleared, then one is getting out of this material universe and then going back to Godhead. Then what is this concept of going back to Godhead, and what happens at the end of life for a person? If it's not a geographical location, what actually happens at death? And like that is my doubt, like this whole point of escaping or getting out of this material universe. So though I understand that, okay, that is not our goal is mama janmani janmanishware bhavatat bhakti rahetu kitvai. But the fact of the matter is, like you said, like even if that is not our goal, bhakti acts that way. So, what happens in this case then? Like, if it is about change of consciousness, so what happens at the end of life? Do we still get another birth where we are totally Krishna conscious and doing total bhakti, or what actually happens?
Yeah, see what happens now. Our consciousness, it is uh, escaping this metal world, is escaping material consciousness. So we want to escape this
Okay.
material consciousness because it is making us get absorbed in material things. And so that
Mm,
we will, we now, what is the main, why we have to do tapasya? So tapasya basically means we are trying to focus our mind from material things to spiritual things. So anytime you are
mm,
avoiding material absorption, that is tapasya for us. I am focused on eating. So we avoid eating on Ekadasis and some festivals like tomorrow Ramnam. So what you are
mm.
doing, you are removing your absorption in matter and you are trying to get absorption in Krishna. So that is why it
Okay.
is tapasya for us. For a spirit, for a elevated person who is already Krishna conscious, focusing on Krishna is not tapasya. For us, it is tapasya because it is natural for
Mm,
him. His consciousness is elevated. So in the spiritual
mm,
world, now if we are sent to spiritual world, we will go and do sense gratification because we are not able to observe that. So
mm,
the escaping means escaping not just in terms of geographical location, escaping in terms of
mm,
consciousness because our absorption is in matter. So your absorption goes away. At the end of life, you are completely absorbed in Krishna. Then you just transfer to the spiritual world. Wherever you are, your consciousness is in spiritual world. Like Prabhupada. Wherever he is
mm.
experiencing Vrindavan only because his consciousness is Vrindavan. So he is not affected
Okay.
by the material world, material consciousness, material modes. You are understanding
But
the
what
difference?
happens after death
Yeah, it
if
depends
it's
on
not
our
a geographical
consciousness. Yam yam
location?
vapi smaram bhavam. Whatever state of consciousness you are, there you will be elevated. If you have a complete desire of selfless service, then we are elevated to Goloka. If we are having
That's
little
what.
bit of my own
Is Goloka
selfishness,
then a geographical destination or not?
see, it is geographical, or it is geographical in the sense now, if in your house, if you are having a television and
Hmm.
somebody is there is some cricket match is going on in some Australia, you are watching
Hmm.
here. So now the cricket
Hmm.
match is happening in your house or in Australia.
Australia.
Huh. But you are able to see in your house.
Hmm. So
So
I will feel as if I am there only in the.
So now
Hmm.
it can be present everywhere. So you are almost
Hmm.
there and watching it. Everything you can
Hmm.
see. So Goloka can
Hmm.
be if you are having an altar at house and you are worshipping, and Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, Jedine grihete bhajana deki, grihete Goloko baya. The house becomes Goloka, is telling.
Hmm.
So why he is telling house become? Because it you can manifest Goloka wherever you are worshipping Krishna, Krishna can manifest. Prabhupada says, all my temples are spiritual embassies. You can manifest the
Hmm.
spiritual world right at the place where you are by
Hmm.
changing the state of consciousness. So it is
So
geographical
again,
also, and it is also can be
hmm.
manifested. So that's how the potency of Dham is. It can be in its own abode, and it can manifest in different places also.
Okay. So what I understood is, Prabhuji, like even now we can be in the consciousness of Goloka Vrindavan if we do everything that is pleasing to Krishna, and if we naturally like have a natural remembrance for Krishna, and not absorption in material things, our current consciousness can become Goloka consciousness.
Yeah,
And at the end of life,
consciousness means not just that Krishna is present. Consciousness is to be
what
conscious
Krishna
of
likes,
what Krishna is conscious, to please him all the time,
yeah,
what
to
he
please
likes.
him. And that is about while we are living now, this could be our consciousness, and therefore we can be Krishna conscious all the time.
Yeah,
And then the material things do not affect us. But at
yeah.
the end of death, it could be a geographical destination. Is that right?
It's end of the day. It is like like Prabhupada is seeing in America also is seeing Vaikuntha. So
Hmm.
it is the Dham has that potency. It can be there everywhere. So it is
Yeah.
your
But
location
that
also.
is while we are living right now, that is the case. My
Yeah.
only question is like after death also, then what is the case after death?
Yeah, yeah. See, for us now, our brain understands only some level of reality. It cannot understand everything. If we say it is
Mm-hmm.
present everywhere, we cannot understand only. So for us
Mm-hmm.
now, our logical level of understanding is this much only. If it is, if you are in say Delhi, you cannot be in Hyderabad. You are in Hyderabad, you cannot be in Vrindavan. So we understand like that. But Lord can be in
Mm-hmm.
Hyderabad also, Delhi also, Vrindavan also, everywhere he can be there. So our logic don't
Mm-hmm.
apply to it. We say, how is it possible? He can be in
Ah,
three places.
correct. Okay, okay.
So we cannot understand this in a logical way. We have to understand, yes, that I cannot understand, and then we'll understand something.
Okay. Okay, Prabhuji. Thank you. Hare
Uh,
Krishna.
Yes, Gil Mataji. If it is connected to this topic, then before moving ahead, we'll cover this.
Yeah, Hare Krishna.
Hare
Uh, yeah, this concept of bhakti with faith versus bhakti without faith. I wish I could remember how you had put it earlier in class. You know, whether you perform bhakti with shraddha. Like if you perform bhakti with shraddha, it's one thing. If you perform it without shraddha, then it's not something. Do you remember what you said exactly? With shraddha or without shraddha?
Just now.
No, no, no. Earlier, before you started talking about bhakti with faith or bhakti without faith, you were talking about
Today's
shraddha.
session.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
what I was telling is, for pure devotional service, we need Shraddha. But for other things, without Shraddha also, it will work. Bhakti can be done without Shraddha also.
Oh, okay. So yeah, that was it. So um, because you see, my problem is that when I think of bhakti, I think of having a desire to please Krishna, right?
Yeah.
But if you have a desire to please Krishna, isn't that faith or not?
See, like now you unconsciously please Krishna. Is it bhakti or not? Like Putana
Um,
please Krishna. Is it bhakti or not? You tell.
no,
Did she has faith
because
in Krishna?
no, for
But
bhakti,
she,
it has to be favorable, no? Favorable intention, no?
that is for pure devotional service is favorable. This is not pure devotional service definition. We are talking about just bhakti. Anything, any act which pleases Krishna, what do you call it then? If Putana acted in such a way, it pleased Krishna. So what you should call it?
Yeah. Well, I mean,
What
the
do you call
closest
if
thing,
Putana is pleasing
again, I
Krishna?
would
What
say
term you
maybe,
use for it?
I mean, maybe a Sukriti. It's not bhakti because for it to be bhakti, for you, okay, here's the thing, Prabhu. The way I understand Rupa Goswami's definition, right?
That is
Of
Uttama
pure,
Bhakti definition.
no, 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 but there's two parts, right? The primary part, the secondary part, like for regular bhakti, right?
Yeah.
You have to you have to please Krishna with favorable intention, but for it to be pure, then it has to be devoid of extraneous motives and jnana and karma and like that. That's how I understand that verse.
Yeah, even this also, any act that pleases Krishna, according to Jiva Goswami, says that is bhakti only. This
I
is
don't
Jiva
know, Prabhu.
Goswami's statement.
My understanding is that for something to qualify as bhakti, favorable intention is it has to be there. It's even if it may not even be pure, but for it to be bhakti, favorable intention has to be there.
So that is your that is the understanding you have till now. But now you have to upgrade your understanding that even if you don't have intention, if you please Krishna, that is also considered as bhakti according to Jiva Goswami. That's what I am trying to
Okay,
tell.
okay. So therefore, um, you know, Ravana or what's his name? Yeah, Ravana. He was constantly absorbed in fear out
Yeah,
of
Shishupal
fear.
is absorbed in Krishna.
Yeah, yeah. So, but we do not consider that bhakti, do we? Or do we?
No, that is not bhakti. See, he did not do anything which pleases Krishna. Na. His absorption is in Krishna, he got liberated. That's a different thing. But
Uh-huh.
my point is, any activity done which pleases Krishna will considered as bhakti. Like Putana or Ajamila. Did Ajamila chant Krishna's name?
He chanted his name.
Means with faith. Means he chanted with faith
No,
Krishna's name,
no, no.
but he got benefited.
Yeah, just like Shishupal, he also got benefited.
No, he got benefited because he got absorption in the uh, he got liberated because he was absorbed in the Lord in an inimical form.
Yeah,
Uh,
but that he got benefited. He got liberation. That's a benefit.
no, that is because Krishna, anybody Krishna kills, they'll get benefited. That is the prerogative Krishna has, that
Yes.
whomever I kill, I will be liberated. But in case
Yeah.
of Ajamila, Krishna did not come na here. See, Putna, did she get liberated or she got spiritual world?
You're into the spiritual world.
So why spiritual world?
Well, you would say is because somehow or other she was able to please him.
That is the point. So you can go to Goloka also without having faith, like Putana.
Yeah, I think my problem is that how is something considered bhakti without the intention to please?
So even that also is Krishna is so merciful, even that also he counts as bhakti. So that is the greatness of Krishna. Let's say somebody came to your house and no, without intending anything, he just say you like some rose flower. He just brought some rose flower. He wanted to give to his girlfriend or something, and he forgot at your house and went. And you thought, oh, he decorated my house, and you are very pleased. So that's what the examples come. If you see down yesterday, I was giving these three examples like that, which even a little bit of bhakti and the stories we have discussed about the uh, about a drunkard who was entered the temple and was wanting to play cuckoo, and then they were clapping and going around. Lord considered it that they are doing some arti service to me, and a man quarreled with his illegal lover, and then unknowingly entered a Narsimha temple, and whole night he fasted. That happened to be Narsimha Chaturdasi. He got benefited. And
Mm.
then we saw a rat who
Yeah.
actually was trying to eat uh, the oil that is kept, and it hair got
Yes.
burned.
Yeah.
And once the wig stuck between its teeth, and she ran around the temple in pain and fear. Krishna
Yeah.
thought
Yeah.
he's doing performing arti.
Uh-huh.
So now, why Krishna is considered this? Whether any of them have faith?
No.
So that is how great Krishna is. That is how he considers anything that pleases him, finish. You are liberated. So that is the effect, that is the power of bhakti. That's what.
Hmm.
So anything you please Krishna, Krishna is so happy with it. He says, okay, you have done something too good to me. He is like too extra merciful in this. You do
Hmm.
little bit anything favor to him, he considers it as bhakti and he will elevate. That means he is taking every opportunity of a living entity who is trying to
Hmm.
please him and help that living entity like that.
Yeah. So even if you accidentally please
Ah,
Krishna, he calls that bhakti. Uh, and and if you well, Putana, um, it was because
even her
I mean,
intention
although
was negative also, Krishna took it, the positive part only he took. He didn't take even the negative part. That's why Uddhava was so much, Uddhava sings this song. You know, he said, Aho Bhakiyam Stanakal Kutam. She came to give poison, but you gave Dhatri, you gave the position of mother. So how can somebody, who can be more merciful than you?
but Ravana, he also his intentions were just as evil,
He did not please na Ram. He did not do anything that pleasing Ram.
but because Putana gave milk, even though
She did some pleasing activity. That's why she got benefited. Anything that little bit pleases is
little bit
considered.
pleases. Hmm. Okay, and so when it comes to Rupa Goswami's verse, the second part, right?
Yeah,
Anu Anukuyena Krishnanu, right? That part.
yeah,
Um, that part you're saying is referring to, it does refer to bhakti because it's favorable.
yeah,
Favorable means you did some small thing, even by accident, to
yeah,
please him.
yeah,
And so if you even did some like that mouse, right?
yeah,
With the
yeah,
burning thing, even
yeah,
that mouse, he would fulfill that part of that verse, Anukulyena Krishnanu.
yes, because it is
Okay,
pleasing Krishna.
okay. I got it, Prabhu. Thank you very, very, very much.
Thank you.
Finally.
So the problem is mentioned here. Why we have challenges because of this. A single greatest obstacle to faith is ego. Faith in Shastra means accepting its words unconditionally, not picking and choosing what I like. What happens is ego insists on remaining the judge. I like this, I don't like this is right, this is wrong, my understanding is this. When faith first awakens in a new devotee, ego is briefly stunned, but it soon revives and begins to find faults with other devotees, with the prasad, with scriptures, with the path, and so many doubts come. So these are the obstacles for our faith, and that comes because of our ego. Because we have a certain understanding, when anything that challenges, immediately we protest. So these are the some of the examples that are given, that even once somebody uh, genuinely contact with any manifestation of bhakti can bring liberation. So manifestation, that is one time he did finish, he will be taken seriously by Lord. Bhakti is compared to fire, fire burns, but so does a rod held in fire, and so does anything that touches that rod. So this is actually what is happening. So if a devotee comes in contact with someone who contacted devotee, can bring liberation. So Yamraj says 90,000 generations don't touch. So not full bhakti, even indirect contact, that also has effect. So we discuss this examples and all. So here Jiva Goswami says even an offensive action that accidentally resemble bhakti has power. So that is the reason Lord takes it so seriously. Of course, there are so many other things, but I will take the topic of offenses more further next level, maybe in the future sections. We will complete our syllabus first. So, because it is all okay, this we will. If any question is there in this regard, we will take and then we'll move ahead. Yes, Deepa Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. This just now you were discussing about this bhakti without faith. So I just wanted to check: is this example would be right that taking holy name even once without faith can nullify all past sins? That is the mercy of Krishna. Can that fit into this? That example fit into this? Like,
Yeah,
for
yeah.
instance,
When
in Rath
you
Yatras,
chant
there are so
without
many people who
offenses,
pull the
then
cart.
that matters. So offense is what is obstructing. Even once is sufficient actually. One time
Hmm.
chanting the holy name is sufficient to eradicate all the sins which you have committed in the
Hmm.
past and which you are going to commit in future also. What to speak of past? Future
Yeah.
mistakes, future sins are also eradicated. But that one chanting
Okay.
name should be without offenses. So presently, why it is not affecting for us is because of our offenses. So we have to carefully avoid offenses so that we will be able to
Hmm.
chant that one holy name, which will help us
Hmm.
come closer to Krishna like that.
Without offenses, in the sense, while chanting one name, we are not committing offense. Is that what you're saying?
Because we have that offensive mentality. We are judgmental. We are no so many other
Hmm.
things. All the 10 offenses against the holy name. All these
Hmm.
things are happening with us at some
Hmm.
level.
Like,
That's
for
why we are
instance,
not
in a
getting
Rath
it.
Yatra, in a Rath Yatra, there are so many people who come and pull the cart and sing the holy name just out of curiosity. They are just passers by on the road. So at that moment, they are not committing any offense as such. While saying that name, they are just saying it out of that happiness that everybody is chanting, so they are chanting. So automatically, this happens, or what happens in such case? Because they, as of now, they don't have faith neither in Shastras nor in Krishna, that Jagannath is Krishna, nothing they know. They are just pulling the cart. So many times that happens. They are eating prasadam without faith. All these are also. pleasing to Krishna. So,
See, they might have done in the past lives, or in India, many people have already done because they are born in India. There is always a chance of offensive
mm,
offending. So that is, they have done something wrong, means they thought about and all. And another, like this is there, this is definitely there that like we have heard many experience in foreign countries, in Russia and all, when devotees are going for kirtan, even Prabhupada time also when they just saw the first time heard the kirtan, one Mataji she started crying only, and then she continuously cried. And one devotee he was telling is he came to he was telling that on Janmashtami new people came, no Moscow temple, and the kirtan was going on, and one devotee,
mm,
one boy, he came for the first time, and he comes to His Holiness Bhakti Vigyan Maharaj and says, why I'm feeling I want to cry continuously. I'm getting tears
mm,
continuously. What happened to me? Maharaj said,
mm,
this is what we are all trying to get. And you are very fortunate. You already got. So because he got in touch with the holy name, immediately his heart is changing, because he didn't had any
mm,
offenses. Immediately he started experiencing great emotions. He started continuously crying and genuinely he's getting
mm,
tears. He said, I don't know why I'm crying, but somehow tears are coming continuously. So this happened to many people who first came in touch
mm.
with the holy name. They immediately starts getting tears in the eyes. So yeah, that means their sins
So
are getting
can we call
removed.
this as an example of bhakti without faith and that some benefit coming as a byproduct? We can call that, right?
It is
This
not
is also
byproduct,
bhakti.
it direct benefit of bhakti.
Uh-huh.
You should get tears in the
Right.
eyes.
Mm.
Heart should when heart melts,
Uh-huh.
na, then only tears come in the eye. Why our tears are not coming? Because heart is not melting. Heart is tadasma sharam hridayam vadeda. It's like a very hard stone.
Mm.
One time, if you take the holy name, the tears should roll in the heart in the eyes. If your tears are
Mm.
not coming when you are chanting, heart is very hard. That is the point. For them, the heart melted. Immediately, they started
Mm.
getting tears even one time hearing.
Mm. Okay, Prabhuji. Yeah.
Vrindavan Gopal Prabhu.
Yeah. Hare Krishna, Prabhu, Dandavat
Dandavat.
So, Prabhuji, my question is regarding to like here you are giving some of the example. Even if somebody does bhakti unintentionally, without faith, even such person they can reach to Golaka. So this is the example of Putana, right? So they have accidentally performed some devotional service, and as a result of that, Krishna has transformed them or given them position of a dhatri in a spiritual world. Also, the example of mouse who has also accidentally did the arti. So these are the example. These are exceptional example, Guruji, as a mercy of the Lord, or because there are also even the different references in the shastras if you want to be in the spiritual you have to have the same consciousness. Even we have a tinge of contamination, still will not able to get into the spiritual world. Such references also are there. So these examples are exceptional example of mercy of Krishna, or how it is. Can you just put some light on this?
See how it happens, bro. When these personalities, if Krishna, he immediately purifies such person's heart and he'll make them eligible to go to Goloka. So they are completely freed because they got in touch with Krishna directly. Like Putana was directly in touch. So all the demons who directly touched Krishna, they all got purified. They got liberated. But in case of Putana, she got one step ahead. She got into Goloka. Now the difference between a devotee practicing bhakti and going to Goloka and Putana going to Goloka, there is so much difference. What is the main difference is Putana will not have will not have love. She will be in a she will have a abhas, means she will be in a little neutral state. She will not have that intimate relationship. She is just a nurse there. But the prema bhakti, that is not possible for her because she did not practice that. So in the spiritual world also, in Vaikuntha also, there are no Shantaratis and there are devotees who are Sukha Ishwarya Mukti. So they don't have love for Lord Narayana there. They stay in Vaikunta and they appreciate Lord Narayana and they are conscious of him. But they please him, but they don't have love for him. So there is a difference. To be with Lord in Vaikunta, but to have a relation with him. So the yogis and all, they end up in Vaikunta and Shantarati only. They will not have relation with him where they are intimately connected and working with him. That is not possible. So same thing with Putana or whoever goes like that with this type of mukti, cannot develop that love and that intimate relationship. So Putana will just remain a nurse and she is just in a some Shantarati state and assisting somebody there. But somebody who has love, their experience is much more deeper. So that is the main difference.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, Bas.
Alex. Any other questions on this topic before Aparad? Of course, I didn't cover only. Yes, Bir Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Dandavat.
Dandavat.
Prabhu, this Putana's case, Prabhu, can we say ki from sadhaka perspective it is not bhakti? Only Krishna has taken it as a, I mean, Krishna got pleased and from that angle it can be said bhakti. But actually, from sadhana perspective, it cannot be called bhakti because even Rup Goswami also he says ki it has to be anukulen and Krishna anusinam. Then only it will be bhakti. And for Uttama Bhakti, the other two characteristic applies. So for being
It
Bhakti
is
also, it
Anukul
has to
only,
be
na? Krishna liked it, so it is Anukul to Krishna.
but the act which Putana did, from sadhaka perspective, it is not uncool, na? She did not. She did not went for pleasing Krishna.
No, no,
From that angle.
intention is different, but the
That's what I'm saying.
active
That's what I'm
act
saying.
pleased Krishna, na? It became Anukul to Krishna, even though she didn't meant to do it, but the activity bent Anukul, it became Anukul to Krishna.
Um,
So
but from
even though
Putana's
my
hand,
intention is wrong, but when I went and it became Krishna liked it. So Krishna
but Prabhu,
liked it, it became Anukul to Krishna.
but once if intention is not favorable, then how it can be called bhakti, Prabhu? From sadhana perspective, from sadhana
No,
perspective, it
no,
cannot be
that
called bhakti, na?
see, you are seeing in terms of you. I am seeing in terms of Krishna. Now, in terms of
That's what
Krishna,
I'm saying. That's what.
so in terms of Krishna, if he gets pleasure with something, immediately whoever gives pleasure to Krishna, that living entity will get benefited, no matter whatever intention he did. So
That's
anything
correct.
that
That's
pleases
correct.
Krishna will benefit the living entity. So now whatever intention he did, that does not matter for Krishna. Okay, you gave me pleasure, I will reward you. You may done with good intention, bad intention, whatever intention. If you give pleasure to Krishna, you get benefited. So that is the level of Krishna's mercy. He will not see the intention. He will see whether that God that gave me pleasure. Of course, he sees intention in case of Yashodama is trying to bind Krishna. And no, it is like Krishna is crying, but still Krishna knows this is correct. So he sees intention with devotees, but even unintentionally also some pleasure comes, he will accept it. Inimically also, if you give some pleasure to Krishna, he will accept it like that. With good intention, bad intention, no intention, anything pleases Krishna will benefit the living entity.
Right,
You
right,
understand?
right, right, right. Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you. Thank you. Then,
Right. Okay, we will just take 2, 3 verses. So here, King Ram, actually there is some more things also on offenses, but because we have to cover our syllabus, I will take maybe some other time we get the topic. We have some very interesting things to understand about offenses. We'll again take it. So here Ravana says, my dear sir, it appears that the influence of your great spiritual knowledge is hidden. Factually, You are bereft of all material association and fully absorbed in thoughts of the Supreme. Consequently, you are limitedly advanced in spiritual knowledge. Please tell me why you are wandering around like a dulorot. O great saintly person, you have spoken about words approved by the yogic process, but it is not possible for us to understand what you have said. Therefore, kindly explain it. Saintly persons like Jadabharat do not speak ordinary words. Whatever they say is approved by great yogis and those advanced in spiritual knowledge. This is the difference between ordinary people and saintly people. The listener must also be advanced to understand the words of such exalted, spiritually advanced people as Jadabharata. So this is an important point. If same thing was spoken by Jadabharata to his brothers, they would not have understood because they are not elevated like King Rahugana. Rahugana is very elevated personality. So that's what. Listener must also be advanced in understanding the words of such exalted, spiritually advanced people as Jadabharat. That is the reason he was not able to speak to his brothers. One of the reasons. We can guess. It is not given here. But we can understand that listener must also be advanced. So as soon as Jadabharat spoke something, King Rahuguna could understand it. That's a very special thing. He could. So Bhagavad Gita was spoken to Arjuna, not others. You see, Lord Krishna especially selected Arjuna for instructing in spiritual knowledge because Arjuna happened to be a great devotee and confidential friend. So similarly, great personalities also speak to advanced, not to Shudras, Vaishyas, women, or unintelligent men. Sometimes it is very risky to give great philosophical instructions to ordinary men. But Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, for the benefit of fallen souls of Kali Yuga, has given us a very nice instrument, the chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So Prabhupada nicely concluded, means is nicely connecting. He says that we cannot speak advanced knowledge. And Arjuna happened to devotee, that's why Krishna gave. Rajavidya, Rajaguhyam, Pavitram idamuttamam, Pratyaksha Bhagamam Dharmam, Susukam Kartumavim. So he said, this is the Rajavidya, highest of knowledge. I am giving you because Bhaktosime Sakacheti. He's telling you are my Bhakta, devotee, that's why I am giving you. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he said, okay, these people are not qualified, so better give them the holy name. So general mass of people, although Shudras and less, can be purified by chanting this Hare Krishna mantra, then they can understand the exalted philosophical statements of Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam. Krishna conscious movement has therefore adopted the chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra for the general masses. When people gradually become purified, they are instructed in the lessons of Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam. Materialistic people like Stri, Shudras and Dvijabandhus cannot understand words of spiritual advancement, yet one can take to the shelter of a Vaishnava, for he knows the art of enlightenment, enlightening even Shudras in the highly elevated subject matters spoken in Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam. So this is a very important understanding that Mahamantra is making us eligible. Aham cha yogeshwaram tattva vidamuninam paramam gurum vai prasutam pravishta kim iharanam tat sakshadhar dhari jnana kalavatirnam. I considered my good self the most exalted master of, I considered your good self the most exalted master of mystic power. You know the spiritual science perfectly well. You are the most exalted of all learned sages. and you have descended for the benefit of all human society. You have come to give spiritual knowledge, and you are a direct representative of Kapila Dev, the incarnation of God, and the plenary portion of knowledge. I am therefore asking you, O spiritual master, what is the most secure shelter in this world? So, tadvidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya. Yoginam pi sarvesha madgatena antaratmana Shraddhavan bhajate yuma. So, if we are to worship with Shraddha. So, Jadabharat was perfect yogi. He was formerly the Emperor Bharata Maharaj, and he was now the most exalted personality among the learned sages and the master of all mystics. Although Jadabharat was an ordinary living entity, he had inherited all the knowledge given by the Supreme Lord Kapil Dev. He could therefore be taken directly as the Supreme Lord, as confirmed by Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur Sakshat Dharitvena. Bharata is as good as Supreme Lord because he fully represents the Lord by giving knowledge to others. Jadabharat is herein accepted as a direct representative of Supreme Lord because he was imparting knowledge on behalf of Lord. Therefore, Maharaj Ravana concluded that it was appropriate to ask him about Atma Tattva. Tadvijnanam Sagurum Evabhigachet. So, सवै भवाल्लोकनिरीक्षणार्थम् अव्यक्तलिङ्गो विचरत्यपि स्वित् योगेश्वराणां गतिमन्दबुद्धि कथं विचक्षीत गृहानुबन्धः. It is not a fact that your good self is direct representative of Kapil. Sorry, is it not a fact that yourself is direct representative of Kapil Dev? So that's actually the Kapil Dev what he taught, and Jadabharat is going to elevate the next level of classes he is going to give. The incarnation of Supreme Lord. Somehow it is connected to Kapila only because both are going to tell a similar type of philosophy. But it is a Bharat Maharaj, Jadabharat's philosophy will be next level of Kapila's. Is a great, he upgraded the philosophy. To examine people and see who is actually a human being and who is not, you have presented yourself to be deaf, dumb person. Are you not moving in this way upon the surface of the world? I am very attached to family life and worldly activities, and I am blind to spiritual knowledge. Nonetheless, I am now present before you and I am seeking enlightenment for you. How can I advance in spiritual life? So, although Maharaj Rahugana was playing the part of a king, he had been informed by Jadabharata that he was not a king nor was Jadabharata deaf and dumb. Such designations are simply covering of spirit soul. Everyone must come to this knowledge as confirmed in Bhagavad Gita, Dehinosmin Yata Dehe. Everyone is encased within the body. Since the body is never identical with the soul, the bodily activities are simply illusory. In the association of such as sadhus as Jadabharata, Maharaj Ravana came to the awareness that his activities as a royal authority were simply illusory phenomena. He therefore agreed to receive knowledge from Jadabharata, and that was the beginning of his perfection. Tad vijnanatam sabgurum eva vigachet. A person like Maharaj Ravana, who was very inquisitive to know the value of life and spiritual science, must approach a personality like Jadabharata. So, Tasmat Gurum Prabhaddeta Jignasu Shreyottamam. One must approach a guru. So, Krishna arranged for King Rahugana. He must be a very sincere person. That's why Krishna made him understand. Drishta smaram karmata atmano vai bhartur bantur bhavatas chanumanye yata sato dhana yadanda abhavat Samula ishto vyavahara margaha. You have said, I am not fatigued from labor. Although the soul is different from body, there is a fatigue because of bodily labor. And it appears to be fatigue of the soul. So now onwards he is asking the questions on because Jadabharat made some statements. Now Rahugana is challenging them. Challenging in the sense he is trying to understand it more clearly. When you are carrying the palanquin, there is certainly labor for the soul. He is telling, "Arey, soul will not get affected," but it looks like soul is getting affected. If we are working so hard, our body is getting tired, but we also feel the soul is tired. This is my conjuncture. You have also said that the external behavior exhibited between the master and servant is not factual. But although in the phenomenal world it is not factual, the products of the phenomenal worlds are actually affects things. So that means, okay, you are telling, Array, I am master, you are servant, all these things illusory, that is not going. But the things that are happening in the world are affecting us. Now there is somewhere war is going on, it is affecting us. That means what? Anything that happens, like in our house, so many things are affecting us. Even though if you are telling it is not real, why it should affect? Say, for example, in the dream, something is happening. It should not affect us because it's a dream. So if this world is a dream, why it is affecting me? So that is visible and experienced. As such, even though material activities are impermanent, they cannot be said to be untrue. So this is affecting. So this is Prabhupada writes nice point in the purport. He says, this is a discussion of impersonal Mayavada philosophy and practical philosophy of Vaishnavas. Mayavadi philosophy explains that this phenomenal world is world to be false. But Vaishnava philosophy do not agree. They know that the phenomenal world is a temporary manifestation, but it is not false. So he gives this is the example. A dream, according to Mayavadi, this world is a dream. So a dream that we see at night is certainly false. But a horrible dream certainly affects the person seeing it. The soul's fatigue is not factual, but as long as one is immersed in illusory bodily concept, one is affected by such false dreams. If wife is upset, the husband is also affected. So now we may say, my wife is illusion. I will not get affected. It does not happen, right? You say, it's a dream. My wife is upset. It's a dream. It is not affecting me. It's not practical. When dreaming, it is not possible to avoid the actual facts. And the conditioned soul is forced to suffer due to his dream. The water pot is made of earth and is temporary. Actually, there is no water pot. There is simply earth. However, as long as the water pot can contain water, we can use it in that way. It cannot be said to be absolutely false. This is a nice analogy. Okay, you say water pot is also earth, but it is able to hold water. Na? Earth cannot hold water, but water pot is holding water. That means some shape it has transformed itself. Even though it is an illusory, but it is having a factual effect. That is the point. So Rahugana, see such a nice argument he gave. Are you are telling illusory, but what is illusory? I am getting affected here. King Rahugana continued, my dear sir, you have said that designations like bodily fitness and thinness are not characteristics of soul. Okay, that is okay. But then Rahugana says, that is incorrect because designations like pain and pleasure are certainly felt by the soul. So even though bodily fitness, thinness is affecting the soul because if I am thin, I cannot do heavy work. You may put a pot of milk and rice within fire, and the milk and rice are automatically heated, one after another. Similarly, due to bodily pain and pleasure, the senses, mind, and soul are affected. The soul cannot be completely detached from this conditioning. So the nice argument here. He says the argument put forward by Maharaj Ravagada is correct from the practical point of view, but it arises from an attachment to bodily conception. It can be said that a person sitting in his car is certainly different from the car. But if there is a damage to the car, the owner of the car, being overly attached to the car, feels pain. Actually, the damage done to the car has nothing to do with the car's proprietor. But because the proprietor has identified himself with the interest of the car, he feels pleasure and pain connected with it. This conditional state can be avoided if attachment is withdrawn from the car. Then the proprietor will not feel the pleasure and pain of the car if the car is damaged or whatever. Similarly, the soul has nothing to do with the body and the senses, but due to ignorance, he identifies himself with the body and he feels pleasure and pain due to bodily pleasure and pain. So this is the most important point. So I will not elaborate on this because next chapter is big elaboration on this. So we will take on that identification of false ego. Just my dear sir, you have said that relation between king and subject or between the master and servant are not eternal. But although such relationship are temporary, when a person takes the position of a king, his duty is to rule the citizens and punish those who are disobedient to the laws. But punishing them, he teaches the citizens to obey the laws of the state. Again, you have said that punishing a person who is deaf and dumb is like chewing the chewed or grinding the pulp. That is to say that there is no benefit in it. However, if one is engaged in his own occupational duty as ordered by the Supreme Lord, his sinful activities are certainly diminished. So this is a very nice argument. He says that Array is already a fool. What is the point in punishing? You will not understand. And if he is enlightened, there is no point of telling him. So why are you wasting in time in instructing? So that's what he is telling. When a person takes the position of a king, his duty is to rule the citizens and punish who are disobedient. Now you are telling by punishing he teaches the citizens. And you have said that punishing a person who is deaf and dumb is like chewing the chewed. So Prabhupada read this argument by Ravagana is certainly very effective argument. You see, Prabhupada is also appreciating. So, Sri Rupa Goswami says, Tasmat Kshemapya Upayane Manaha Krishna Niveshyata. Somehow or other, one should engage in Krishna consciousness. Actually, every living being is an eternal servant of Krishna. Due to his forgetfulness of living entity, engages in an eternal servant of Maya. As long as one is engaged in Maya service, he cannot be happy. Our Krishna conscious movement aims to engage people in Lord Krishna's service that will help them become free from all material contamination and self-will activity. This is confirmed in Bhagavad Gita, Vita Raga Bhayakrodha. By becoming detached from material activity, he will be free from the fear and anger. By austerities, one becomes purified and eligible to return home back to Godhead. The duty of a king is to rule his citizens such a way that they can become Krishna conscious. This would be very beneficial for everyone. Unfortunately, the king or president engages people in sense gratification instead of Lord service, and such activities are certainly not beneficial for anyone. King Rahugana tried to engage Jadabharth in carrying the palanquin, which is a form of sense gratification for the king. However, if one is engaged in a palanquin carrier in the Lord's service, that is certainly beneficial for this godless civilization. So, this is if a president engages people somehow or other in the devotional service of awakening of Krishna, he renders the very best service to the citizens. तन्मे भवान्नरदेव भीमनाम्ना मेदेन तुच्छीकृतसत्तमस्य कृषिष्टमित्रैर्दृशमार्तबन्धो यथा तरेर्सद् अवधानम् अहम् Whatever you have spoken appears to me to be contradictory. Nice. Actually, it's all contradictory only. If you don't understand it, we'll see what answers Jadabharta has to give for these questions. O best of the distressed, I have committed a great offense by insulting you. I was puffed up with false prestige due to possessing the body of a king. For this, I have certainly become an offender. Therefore, I pray that you kindly glance at me with your causeless mercy. If you do so, I can be relieved from the simple activity brought about by insulting you. So, what a level of insult! You are making him carry your palanquin, and you used bad words also. So now he's really repenting. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has said that by offending a Vaishnava, one finishes all his spiritual activity. Offending a Vaishnava is considered a mad elephant offense. A mad elephant can destroy an entire garden which has been developed with great labor. One may attain the topmost platform of devotional service, but somehow or other, if he offends a Vaishnava, the whole structure collapses. Unconsciously, King Rahugana offended Jadabharata, but due to his good sense, he asked to be excused. This is the process by which one can be relieved from a Vaishnava aparadh. Krishna is always very simple and by nature merciful. When one commits an offense at the feet of a Vaishnava, one must immediately apologize to such a personality so that his spiritual advancement may not be hampered. So, I think this will be the last verse. I'll just take this verse. The chapter will be over. Then we'll come to the solution parts. न विक्रिया विश्वसुहृत्सकस्य साम्येन वीता अभिमत्सतवापि महद्विमानात् स्वकृद्धिमाधिनन् कश्यतु अधूरदपि शूलपाणिः. Oh, my dear Lord, you are the friend of Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is the friend of all living entities. You are therefore equal to everyone and you are free from the bodily conception. Although I have committed an offense by insulting you, I know that you are no loss, but I know that there is no loss or gain for you due to my insult. You are fixed in your determination, but I have committed an offense. Because of this, even though I may be as strong as Lord Shiva, I shall be vanquished without delay due to my offenses at the lotus feet of Vaishnavas. So, Maharaj Ravguna was very intelligent. Prabhupada's writing. He is very intelligent and unconscious of inauspicious effects arising from insulting a Vaishnava. So, he was therefore very anxious that he to be excused by Jadabharata. So, here Krishna, Vrindavan Das Thakur. शूलपाणी समयधि भक्ति निंदा करे भगवत प्रमाण तथापि शीघ्र मरे हरेर वैष्णवे निंदा सर्वजना हाय से जानेर अधिपात सर्व शास्त्र खया. Even if one is strong as Lord Shiva who carries a trident in hand, one will nonetheless fall down from his spiritual position if he tries to insult a Vaishnava. Oh, because Vaishnava topic, maybe we will continue some more discussion on Vaishnava, but tomorrow I will try to add on this. Some very interesting points are there. Okay, we will take some questions. Yes, Mataji. Yes, Vasundhara Mataji. We are not able to hear you. Oh. Yes, Mataji, your signals has some problem. We are not able to hear.
Hare Krishna.
Yes, Mataji.
Is it fine now, Prabhuji?
Yeah, yes,
Yeah.
Mata, you are able to.
Thank you so much. I mean, each day I learn so many, what do you call those finer nuances of bhakti, and so many insights which we normally don't get if I were to read on my own. So I'm grateful to you. Today's subject, like the tail end of the discussion, was on Vaishnava Aparadh. So, in the case of Rahugana and Bharat, Jada Bharat. So, we know that there is a clear offensive behavior, though it was not intently meant by Rahagana. And he also is aware of the what do you call intricacies of Vaishnava Aparadh. So was he free from Aparadh because Jada Bharat was a very exalted devotee and I would have definitely been very compassionate on the king. So do we understand that there was a clear what do you call absolutely no offensive reactions in this case because Jada Bharata is a very very exalted devotee and you would have excused all the aparadas of King Rahagana?
Hmm. He excuses and he gives enlightenment also. He gives
Oh,
him knowledge also. So
oh,
that is the proof that he excused. Otherwise, he would have gone from there silently.
oh,
He is
okay.
there with him and he is trying to help him and giving him enlightenment. And he made Rahugana a self-realized person.
Okay, okay. That's great. Nice to know, Prabhuji. In our day to day actions, I know that I would have committed so many Vaishnava aparadas because I can see myself where I come from. Because being simple, judgmental itself is a Vaishnava aparad. So many times the devotees who I would have committed Vaishnava Parad, they would say, no, okay, Mataji, don't worry. Absolutely don't worry. I mean, they say that. So do I need to take it for granted at the face value that they have excused my aparadas, though they might not have internally and carried forward? So in such cases, how does it kind of impact my sadhana practice?
No, that is what your job you have done because
Okay.
you unknowingly did some mistakes. You asked forgiveness. Then, if they did not forgive, we don't have option only. You just make sure that you don't do slowly, slowly. Even if they have some negativity for you, it will reduce eventually, and you will be free from all these things.
Fine, you were
So,
very
if
straightforward to
you
say that unknowingly, but I would want to say knowingly. I mean, because sometimes, you can't
no
withstand.
problem. See, you are
Knowingly, I would
what
have done
if
the
you do
paradas.
nice bhakti. Not a problem because now you don't do it and you start doing nice bhakti which will please devotees and Krishna. Eventually, whoever got little offended, they will also will be pleased with your behavior. So now you behave nicely, slowly, slowly. Everybody will appreciate slowly that okay, this person, she changed now. So they will be happy. So once they see the change and they are seeing that we are becoming more humble, tolerant, and very respectful, and
Mhm.
they're whoever having some negativity also, and they will also immediately give up that attitude towards you. So it is in our hand to become nice and again get their blessings. So when you do nice bhakti, they'll bless you again.
Okay. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. One last question, if I may ask.
Yeah, yeah.
So, I don't know about the yuga that Jada Bharata pastime occurred. So, we heard in the previous verses and sessions that Jada Bharata, like while he was in the family group, he was taken as an assistant in the farming, farming activities and paid very menially by the family members. So, do I understand that this was also during non-Vedic period? This incident must have happened because during the Vedic age, the Varna and the Ashrama were being followed sincerely. So, being born from the Brahmanic family, they were engaged in farming. How do I understand this, Prabhuji? Hare Krishna.
Actually, Brahmanas were also having so much land.
Okay,
So
okay.
they were also having land. They used to engage Shudras in cultivating. They were not directly doing. So Brahmanas will have, because kings used to give land and in charity to Brahmanas also.
Oh, okay, okay, okay.
So they may not do personally cultivation, but they
Mhm.
can keep land.
Okay, okay. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for clarifying the silly doubts. If it is, please
No,
excuse
not
my
silly.
questions. Hare
Everything is
Krishna.
important.
Hare Krishna,
Okay.
Dandavats.
So the question in chat box, for non-devotees, intention does not matter as long as it pleases Lord, but does it matter for pure devotees? See, they will get only little benefit. If you do with proper intention, it will change the heart and will get more benefited. So we cannot, what happens is they will not be able to do it every time. But if you have faith, good intention, every day we can please Krishna and get more and more benefited. Once in a while they did in life, 2, 3 times they did, they got benefited. But whole life we do, how much we get benefited. So, and another thing is intention definitely matters. And intentionally we do, we get benefited. With intention we do, we get more benefited. So that is the difference. Okay, thank you all very much. We'll end here. Grantara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.